And I want to say welcome YouTube to all my friends, my folks, and all you Kings fans out there. It's your guy, Jay Woods, aka Shy the Man, and I'm back at you with another episode of The King's Cup of Joe with Jay.
I love it.
And today is April 22nd. Yeah, April 22nd, 2025. And the day is Tuesday. It is Taco Tuesday.
Taco Tuesday, I got the cheese, she tasting the Kool-Aid.
Enjoy your Taco Tuesday.
Migo the plug, Guadalupe. Yeah. Taco Tuesday, I got the cheese, she tasting the Kool-Aid.
And my cup of Joe for today is, as you can see, I have a few topics here today. First topic is Zach Lavine a dog? And is Domantas Sabonis the right big for the Kings going forward? And where can the Kings get a quality point guard from? So my first topic, I'm kind of curious, and if you can, I would like you guys to answer these questions in the comments as well. And if you can, real quick, before I get into the video, please click that like button and subscribe to the content. And if you're into Kings talk, Kings updates, you're definitely going to want to subscribe to this channel. And please like the content. But all these questions, if you want, please make a comment as well. You can answer the questions in the comments below. But is Zach Lavine a dog? Now, when I say a dog, what I'm talking about is he that kind of just real scrappy player that's willing to do whatever it takes to get whatever he needs, to get a bucket, to get a rebound, to end the game, to make some clutch shots. That type of dog is what I mean when I say, is Zach Lavine a dog? And I know there's different meanings for dog, but that's what I mean by a dog, like a pit bull, a guy, a dog that's just not going to let somebody in your yard, somebody that's just going to get a little mean at times and grab somebody by the leg to let them know that this is your house, that type of player. And I'm not saying he has to be like some super mean guy or some like gangster player or something like that, but there's players out there that play really hard that I would consider a dog that aren't necessarily gangster or mean. Like Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, for example. He's a dog. He's going to go out there and make sure he gets his buckets. He's going to get his shots, and he's not going to let anybody stop him. Another dog that I like that the way he plays is Ja Morant. Ja Morant goes out there like a pit bull. Sometimes he is mean. Sometimes he is a gangster. But he'll go out there and go after whatever his team needs, whether it's a shot, whether he needs to drive to the basket. I saw him jumping over Zach Edey, the 7-footer, trying to get rebounds that Zach Edey wasn't even going for. So just that type of player, that go-getter, that guy that's just going to go get shots anytime you need him in the clutch, no matter what, and just hates losing. Just from the few games that I've watched him play, Zach Lavine, just eye test, I would say no. He's not really a dog. But, I can't say, I don't really know, if he's a dog or not. He hasn't shown that yet. He did okay in the playoffs. He scored 20 points in the playoffs. But I don't know if he really had that mentality that he wasn't going to lose, or he wasn't going to let his team lose, and that he was just going to go all out and do whatever it takes to make sure his team gets a win, or to at least try. A dog is also going to be that first guy that steps up if there's a problem or somebody steps to a teammate. Is Zach Lavine going to step up if there's a fight or something's going down? Is Zach Lavine going to be that guy that steps in between you guys and says, no, I'll take him? I don't know, probably not. Does he need to be a dog? I feel like he does. I mean, if he's going to be the alpha on the team or the number one on the team, I feel like every NBA player should be a dog Obviously, they're not. Not every player plays the same. But in my opinion, our dog is Malik Monk. Row, 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 row. So he is one of the dogs we have on this team. We need more. We need more guys that's willing to step up, play defense, rebound, and do whatever it takes to win. So dogs on this team are a little far and few in between. And I'll just say for now that I don't believe Zach Lavine is a dog. Is Domantas Sabonis the right big man for this team going forward? Domantas Sabonis is a really good blue-collar player. I call him a blue-collar player. He goes in, he does his job night after night. He gets about 1 billion double-doubles a season. He just goes out there and is pretty consistent with his rebounding, averaging about 12 to 15 rebounds a night. And his points, usually about 15 to 20 points a night. I believe Domantas Sabonis is a good big man. There's a lot of fans, a lot of critics, and a lot of talking heads that are a little down on Domantas Sabonis currently because of his play-in game performance, which was a little abysmal. He got outplayed by AD and the other tall guys on that team that they have. They kind of played a two-man set against us. They had a center, and they were using AD as the power forward. AD wasn't just playing like a small team center. He was the power forward, so they were kind of big. And Domantas Sabonis had trouble against that. He has trouble against long, tall, athletic guys that are his height or taller. And who wouldn't? I mean, if somebody that's taller than you is obviously going to have a little bit of an advantage as far as defense. So Sabonis does kind of lack when it comes to like a two-man rotation like that, really athletic big men that guard him. But in my opinion, the Kings probably need to incorporate more of what the Dallas Mavericks do, which is maybe put Sabonis as a power forward and get a really tall guy, a guy that's even taller than Sabonis. You know, get some tall center. You know, we had JaVale McGee a couple years ago, and I thought he was perfect. You know, play him at center, Sabonis at power. You know, let JaVale catch those lobs, and he's there for defense, you know, on guys that Sabonis can't really guard or can't really hold. And in my opinion, I feel like the Kings have been lacking a little bit down low. Is that because of Sabonis? Maybe, but I really feel like he needs help. Sabonis needs help down there, whether it's a really good dominant power forward or a center to combine with to be his center while he's the power forward. Keegan Murray plays power forward most of the games. Keegan Murray is not down low banging or, you know, helping out on D, blocking guys. He's around the perimeter most of the time. On defense, he does get some rebounds, and he has gotten better at help defense, but he's not really that banger, I think, that the Kings kind of need down low. And they recently picked up Jonas Valanciunas, who's also a very good center, big, bulky guy, big, strong, tough guy. But even he has trouble guarding really tall, lean centers. So I believe the Kings do need that. They had Alex Len for a while. You know, he's a tall guy, semi-athletic. And I thought he would have been good to pair with Sabonis, but the Kings just really didn't do that. Mike Brown didn't do that, and even Doug Christie didn't really do that. But in my opinion, I believe the Kings should keep Domantas Sabonis going forward, even though I know he might be our biggest asset right now. A lot of people are calling to get him traded and maybe trade him for some assets, trade him for a good player and some first-round picks. But I think we should keep Domantas Sabonis on this team for now and maybe use some of our other assets to get some younger guys, maybe trading a DeRozan or a Lavine, you know, one of those two guys. I think we can probably get a few good draft picks for those guys. So in my opinion, going forward, I think Sabonis is a good big man. I think he can be used on this team. He kind of didn't show up for the playoffs. He kind of disappeared, and he's done that a couple times now. And his biggest thing is he wants a point guard to come in. He probably doesn't feel like he's getting the ball in the right spots is maybe his concern. But, you know, he brings the ball down himself sometimes. So Lavine and him need to kind of figure out a way to work together if they're going to be successful this next coming off season, or like Sabonis said, get him a point guard and maybe even get him some help at center, somebody that he can actually play with and not sub 4. And my last topic, where can the Kings go to get a quality point guard that can affect the winning of this team next season? And I did a little research on this topic. Translation, I Googled it. But I found out that there is actually a ton of point guards going into free agency next season. Way more than I even realized, at least 10. And I'll probably do some more research on that in the next upcoming videos. But there's a lot that are restricted, player restricted, meaning they have the option if they want to stay or go into free agency. Some couple of them are team restricted, meaning the team will decide if they want to keep them or if they match whatever offers the player brings. And a lot of them are actually just unrestricted and can be signed by anybody. And I made a quick list of guys. I've been hearing people talking about Trae Young. A lot of people would like Trae Young on the Kings, or maybe a trade for Trae Young. In my opinion, I don't believe Trae Young's a winner. I mean, I like his game. I think he's a good player. I think he's been really good with assists this past season. I want to say he averaged like 11 assists per game this past season, 11, 12 assists, something like that. But I don't know, his attitudes and the way he plays sometimes at the end of the game, and his shot selection, I believe, is a little off at times. The way he chucks up long-range shots. And he can hit them, yeah, but those aren't the best shots, especially at the end of the season when you need points in the clutch. So I don't know. I personally would stay away from Trae Young. I don't want him on the Kings team, even though I do like his game, just his personality and his attitudes. I don't know. I don't want that on the Kings. And there's some players that I found I didn't realize were actually free agents next year, like Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving is a free agent, although he is a restricted free agent. I believe he has the option of if he wants to stay or if he wants to enter the free agent market. So that's an interesting one. I don't know if he would come to Sacramento. I doubt it at this point. He's probably hunting championships at this point. If he had to pick Sac or Dallas, he'd probably pick Dallas. So I don't really think that's a possibility. Another guy I found to be coming up on the free agent list was James Harden. James Harden is also coming up on the free agent list. I want to say he has the player option, whether he stays or not. And I like James Harden's game. I like the way he passes, and he did a really good job with the Clippers, especially towards the end of the season. He passes the ball, and he's a decent shooter, and he's actually a very good point guard. And ever since he started playing point guard, as opposed to he was playing like small forward and shooting guard at the beginning of his career, I believe his game is picked up. And in the OG version of James Harden, he plays very smart and very fundamental game. So I would like to see him. Will it happen on the Kings? Probably not. I see James Harden probably staying in LA, since that is where he's from. He'll probably re-sign with the Clippers and stay with Kawhi Leonard. I'd rather do that than come to the Kings. So would him. So would he probably. And then an interesting guy that I saw from Phoenix is Tyus Jones. Tyus Jones is coming up on the free agent market, and he's unrestricted. He can sign wherever he wants. And he had a really good season, I felt, at the end of the year. He had some very good shots against the Kings, that's for sure. So I thought he would be an interesting prospect and somebody that a young upcoming point guard that the Kings might be able to bring in that can also shoot. And also D'Angelo Russell. D'Angelo Russell I thought was interesting. He's an unrestricted free agent coming up, so anybody could sign him. I don't know if I'd get D'Angelo Russell. He was a little bit of a head case in the beginning of his career. He has gotten a little bit better, but he is known as a Kings killer, and I'm not even sure if he would come to the Kings. He's more of a big city guy like LA or New York or something. So that's kind of a little bit of research I did as far as the free agent market, as far as guards that could come to the Kings. I think Tyus Jones is really interesting. And then I also took a quick look at the upcoming draft, which there's some very interesting players coming up in this draft. It's not a super deep draft, but there is some really tall point guard prospects coming into this draft, or coming out of this draft. I found two different guys that were like 6'6", and one guy is 6'4", so they're tall, they're point guards, and this is all rated by CBS. This is from CBSSports.com, but CBSSports.com has the number one point guard rated as Dylan Harper, who's a 6'6" guard. Dylan Harper is from Rutgers, and he's a 6'6" point guard, 215 pounds. And I haven't really seen him play much, just going by his size and this ranking by CBS Sports. I assume he's pretty good. Maybe in the next show, we'll take a look at how he plays. He is ranked number 2 overall, number 1 point guard. So who knows if he'll even be available when the Kings draft. There's also another guy from Illinois. His name's a little harder to say. That's a hard name. Kasparis Jakukionis. Kasparis Jakukionis. I hope I'm saying that right. He's a 6'6" point guard as well, from Illinois, a 205 pounder. And he's ranked 4th overall on the draft board, 2nd point guard. So I thought he would be an interesting look. And then the 3rd ranked point guard in the draft is Jeremiah Fears out of Oklahoma. He's a 6'4" point guard, 182 pounds. And I haven't seen any of these guys play. It'd be interesting to take a look at some of their highlights. So maybe you guys can too. Go take a look at these guys' highlights. Maybe comment on what you think. If you have seen these guys before, comment below for me. Let me know who you think is a really good point guard coming out of the draft, if you know anything about the draft. And then they got some guys from overseas as well, France and Israel, that are ranked like 10th and 17th, kind of closer to where the Kings will be picking. And then there's a guy ranked 9th, Igor Demin from BYU, who's actually 6'9", which is very interesting. A 6'9" point guard. I don't know if that's what he would play in the NBA. But those are just some names. I haven't even watched them play. Check those guys out. I'll have something on about them in the next show. Dylan Harper, Kasparis Jakukionis, and Jeremiah Fears from Oklahoma. Check those guys out, see if you could get any information on those guys. And that's about it for now. That's all I have. Go ahead and tune in for the next show. Go ahead and subscribe so you get a notification when that comes up. I want to say thank you for joining me. And that was my King's Cup of Joe, French roast, 1 creamer.